Alright, so this is my review for episode 5 of The Mandalorian. I forget the title. The episode was okay. I mean, I feel like the weakest part of a lot of these episodes is the casting. Like, it's supposed to be this dark world, and, or this dark universe, I should say, and the Mandalorian is traveling around on the fringes of the universe a lot of the time, or the galaxy a lot of the time, and I just feel like the characters are just they don't look like they live there. They look like, you know, they just, a lot of the time they look like sitcom characters. One thing that kind of annoyed me, or it's one thing that I've noticed, or that I'm starting to notice, is that a lot of the characters are comedians. Like, there was Horatio Sands from SNL in the first one, who played the blue Star Trek looking alien. In the last episode, there was Amy Sedaris, another comedic actress, and then there was Bill Burr in this episode. And I love Bill Burr. I don't want to say anything bad about him. Like, I do stand-up comedy, and he's one of my favorite comedians. But I just feel like, why couldn't they have cast an actor? Like stand-up. I mean, acting is not his strength. Like, a lot of the characters were very, again, they're just very cartoonish. Like there was like this, you know, the aliens with the two tentacles growing out of their back of their heads. I believe they're called the Twi'leks or something like that. There was one alien like that who was just so cartoonish, and she'd just be like jumping around, like, I don't know, she'd hiss and all the time, and it was, I don't know, it's just annoying. Like, the overacting, they were just dripping with gestures, and I don't know, like, they were trying to, a lot of the characters just seemed like they were trying to be natural so hard, and they just had all these little quips and, you know, attempts at, oh, look how natural I'm being. I don't know, it just doesn't work. I feel like the weakest part of this series is the casting a lot of the time. Like, why do they cast comedians? Like, it's not supposed to be a funny story. Why would you cast comedic actors and comedians? I feel like that's a big mistake. I like Bill Burr, and I feel like he seemed like he was more convincing at times, but like his Bill Burriness kind of just was dripping all over the place. Like, he wasn't playing a character, he was Bill Burr. He was playing himself in the Star Wars universe. And he was kind of like irritable Bill Burr, and I kind of was like, yeah, that kind of fits, I guess. Like, one of the things I've been saying all the time, in all these reviews, is that a lot of these characters should probably be irritable. And he did have that, like, I'm not going to take any bullshit from anybody. But at the same time, he was just like, he just had his weird, like, one-liners. Like, I feel like they encouraged him to improvise, and it's just like, why? Why did you do that? Why didn't you just get a regular actor who's going to play this character? Why? I mean, I love Bill Burr, but, like, why? Like, there at one point he was just like, it almost seemed like he was trying to squeeze in as many Star Wars references to be silly. Like, are you a gun under that helmet? And then he started talking in Gungan slave dialect. There was another one. There was this one part where they were raiding this prison cargo ship of some kind, and there wasn't supposed to be any humans on the ship, but for some reason they came into this room and there was a human, and then Bill Burr was like, "Hey, nice shoes." Like it was Joe DeRosa or something. Like, he was just shitting on, like, I almost expected the other guy to be, yeah, nice shirt. Like, they just start ripping on each other's clothes like he always does with cellar crowd comedians or whatever. It felt weird. Like, the characters just didn't seem like they belonged there. Yeah, I mean, Bill Burr. It was weird. It was like off and on. Sometimes it seemed like he would fit because of how irritable he is and intense, and but like I feel like there were too many jokes. Like why make it funny? Why not get a real actor? Like it's almost like they're not taking it seriously anymore. They're just like they want oh here's they want the audience to get excited. Like I know that face, but you're compromising the story by doing that. What else do I want to complain about? I feel like some of the fights in this one were really good. They were just. I think I liked just about everything except for the characters. Like the action was cool. The plot was kind of cool. It's just that the characters were just a little too over the top. There was this one guy. There was this one alien who had like devil horns. I don't know. He like if he just didn't say anything, it would have been so much cooler. There was a fight with him when like the Mandalorian just had his flamethrower and just shot him in the face with fire, and the guy was like, I don't care. he just brushed it off like fire didn't even matter to him. I thought that was kind of funny. I liked how they were all teasing the Mandalorian, like they were talking about how you never take your helmet off. What do you got a gun's face under there? Like they were just crapping on him, and it was like I liked how there was tension. Like the Mandalorian, like he's normally cool under pressure, but it kind of seemed like they were getting to him a little bit. And at one point, this little hatch opened and they saw Baby Yoda and they were like touching him, and the Mandalorian was like, "Don't touch my." He didn't say anything, but you could. His face is under a helmet, but you feel like it's almost like you feel like you can tell what he's thinking. Like, don't touch my kid. And they were just like kind of teasing him, invading his personal space. Like that was nicely done. What else? They were kind of talking about how he's like he's one of the greatest warriors in the galaxy, and like what happens if you take your helmet off? And there was one part where like the big devil horn alien was like, yeah, let's take your helmet off. Like I liked how there was the underlying threat of him being shamed by removing his helmet, and there was like not only were they in a dangerous situation, but these a-holes were surrounding him and just tormenting him, and like they wanted to take his helmet off. I don't know. I feel like every time people were speaking in this one, it just didn't feel natural. Like there was the old guy who was like he just like I feel like I've seen this so many times where in movies and film, there's always the guy who's like, oh, main character, we go way back. Remember the time when we did this? Oh yeah, like there were a couple of moments like that were a little annoying. But anyway, there was just a lot of overacting. I did like how there were X-Wings in it, and like the X-Wings, they were like the police now. But I guess another criticism I have is that it seemed like the Mandalorian just... I liked how he was being shamed, he was being stressed out, he was being like the a-hole squad got the better of them, and they were like, they just double-crossed them, but it just seemed like at the end, everything just wrapped up so nice and tidy. It was almost like, I kind of feel like he should have walked away from that fight, or from that whole scenario, with like an injury, or he should have been down, but he won in the end. All the asshole characters just got served a healthy dose of poetic justice. He walked away with a bag full of cash. The guys that were trying to double cross him got their comeuppance. It was just so tidy. Yeah, it almost just seemed a little too polished. Like I feel like he should have been hurt. He should have broke his arm or something. Should have got an injury. I like how in one of the fights, like there was in the previous episodes, the blacksmith armorer lady, gave him this secret James Bond weapon called the Whistling Birds, and in that episode he used the Whistling Birds to escape, and it was like Q giving James Bond a special little weapon that just happened to get him out of a jam. I kind of liked how in this episode he used that weapon again, and it just had no effect. It just... There was one fight where, when they were on the cargo ship, the A-hole squad just started shooting at these guard robots, and all the bullets were just bouncing off them and showing no effect. And then, like, 10 minutes later, there was another gunfight where suddenly the guns worked and killed the same robots. I think they were the same robots. Yeah, I'm not sure if I have much else to say about this. I just don't like the supporting cast choices. A lot of the dialogue just seemed forced and unnatural. I don't get why they keep casting comedians and comedic actors. This is not a comedy. It's annoying. It takes away from the mood. It takes away from the tone. It takes away from the whole kit and caboodle. Alright, I guess I should give it a grade because I can't think of anything else to complain about. Overall, I liked a lot of what was going on. I think I'm going to give this one a B-. Because I liked the plot, I liked the action, just hated... And again, I hate to say this about Bill Burr, but I just hated the secondary cast members. I did like the robot, though. The robot was cool. Like, I think I like him because he looked dirty and gross and ugly, but he was just formal. Like, he didn't have any frills. Like, he wasn't trying to impress anybody. He was just, I'm doing my job. Actually, maybe he was a little arrogant, but for the most part, I feel like he was just doing it. Like, he was just doing his job, like, emotionlessly. Yeah, all right, B-. See you later.